Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Chainlink, seeing what's going on. We're going to look at some backend data too, of course. This looks like it's either bottoming out or wants to drop lower. We're going to talk about, I guess, potential here to sweep these upper liquidity levels and just generally what this may look like here on larger time frames. So if you are new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today if you do want to become a better trader. Again, cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. I do have trade signals that look something like this here. We took some nice scalps yesterday that took some profit this morning at 30% on AVAX and Solana, nice 13% there. I think we even scalped a little bit of Ethereum as well, 6% this morning. Again, that's not all there is. We got swing trades as well. ARPA, 80%, Gala, 28% in 4 hours. So awesome stuff there. Again, congrats to our community members. Thank you so much for the wonderful feedback. You can reward me by hitting the like button and commenting below, helping us grow the channel. Thank you so much. So what we want to talk about here is Chainlink. Let's go with the backend data first here, and then kind of work our way down. So this is the last 12 hours of liquidation levels for Chainlink. And as you can kind of see, if we zoom in a little bit, tons of liquidation here at about 13.5, 13.6. And I talked yesterday about being careful about shorting this coin. Make sure you don't just jump in because it's overextended, or you got to look at a lot of different reasons. But this tells me that a lot of folks had the wrong impression the price action was going to come down when it didn't. If I recall correctly, I'd recommended no trade is a good trade. And remember, good traders look for reasons not to take a trade instead of the other way around. Okay, so please note all those liquidation levels leads me to believe that there were some late shorts there that got hit. We also have this, $13.05 as a strong accumulation for longs. And we're starting to see much more shorts at about 13.9. Okay. Again, just be careful shorting coins like this. I know it seems really juicy because it could, oh man, it could drop, 35% to where it came from. That's not exactly a guarantee. And Bitcoin is showing a lot more strength than you might think. So until Bitcoin actually does start to drop or give us that indication, I think we're going to be in a situation right now. We just got to be kind of careful. Okay. So anyways, treat it with respect and you shall be rewarded, all right? Taking a look here at some key factors here. We're still above 50 on the RSI. Perfectly fine. Money flow index is actually higher than the RSI, which is typically somewhat of a bullish sign, okay? So I would not concern yourself too much with this MACD divergence here. This is a pretty common characteristic for a lot of coins that are overextended right now. It does not imply the price is just going to drop really hard. But what we don't want to pay attention to here is these double Doge candles here. This is typically an indication of reversal. In other words, you have one Doge candle, it's indecision. Price could go either way. When you have two in a row, just say hypothetically, and this one is also closing more so near the top, it's like a dragonfly Doge. That's a case in point where the price action started here, came all the way down here, and came right back there to close. Now we have 5 hours left to close here. I'm not saying that's happened yet, but the truth is if that closes where it's at or higher, we should see a reversal here based on the fact that the price action had difficulty crossing this lower level. Keep in mind, a double test that support level isn't the greatest thing, but for the most part, this is more positive than negative when it comes to the overall big picture. Let's take a look at some liquidity levels. We have an upper liquidity level here at about 1660. We've talked about that previously. Between 1660 and 1630, this lower sell side liquidity level has already been swept. So all the more reason why the price could and should increase based on the simple fact that there's very little meat left on the bone here. Okay, when the price action came down pretty heavy, it was able to sweep that liquidity level here. We do have a fair value gap, of course, that occurred right here at about 1160 to 1218, but majority of it's been filled already. So I'm not even concerned with that guy. Okay, so for the most part, most liquidity has been swept minus this upper level at about 1640. So just be mindful. Whales like to be able to sweep liquidity levels and then just wreck faces. So if we take a look here, we are below the 100, the 50, and the 20-day SMA. That's typically disadvantageous, so keep in mind this is not sunshine and rainbows. We're underneath 50 on the RSI as well and have been for roughly a full 2 trading days. Okay, so also a bearish sign here. So I totally side with those shorts getting liquidated because it does seem to make sense the price could come lower. But a lot of this hinges on Bitcoin's success. Bitcoin has actually done very well for itself in the last 24 hours. It's recovered nicely after it came down to that 34,900 range and swept that lower liquidity. Again, be sure to watch my Bitcoin videos every day because you need to stay abreast on what goes on with Bitcoin frequently in order to trade altcoins successfully. You got to recognize with all the swing trades I take for most of the altcoins we take trades with, it's all based on understanding how Bitcoin is performing. Okay. Or the correlation between Bitcoin and the altcoins. Right now, we're seeing Chainlink having like kind of a 2x to the downside and a 1x to the upside. So it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either, okay? But the truth is here, we got a MACD convergence here on the horizon. We could very well see that shift in momentum. We do have to close above 1375 in order to have any luck. So, establishing a higher high is one of the most important things you can do for a trend reversal. So in case you guys haven't watched my Trading University videos or perhaps some of my scalping videos on my YouTube channel, you can understand here that this is the most recent high. If this high goes higher than that, it allows for us to establish a higher high. Obviously, that's pretty straightforward, right? But in a trend reversal, when the price action is coming down, the first step to reverse a trend is to become range-bound, which range-bound activity is usually retesting higher highs, parallel highs, or higher lows. In this case, we do have a higher low. Okay, we just need a higher high to complement that. And if we break through this level, the price comes up and consolidates here, then that would be the leg up that we want to consider buying. Okay, but again, we don't want to do that without confirmation. And confirmation comes in many ways, but for me, if you haven't already noticed, I do like to seek confirmation with each mobile cloud on the hourly time frame. So let's go ahead and quickly note here, we have no green lights here to take a long position. We do have a conversion line being above the baseline. That's a consolation, if you will. The lagging span is still kind of embedded within the price, and we're still below this ominous cloud here. So unless we can close at just say $14 or the price goes sideways for 24 more hours, and we're naturally above the cloud here at the current price point tomorrow, then and only then we'd want to consider taking a long, okay? Between now and then, this is basically telling us if you have a short position open, you should have closed it by now too, okay? So that's really, if you shouldn't take a long, you shouldn't take a short, what should you do? You should look for a reason not to take a trade, which is what we just did, okay? So we've identified the reason why we don't take a trade and reasons to take a trade if we see those circumstances occur. So again, I am not super sold on taking a long here with this coin. If I do take a long, it'll be in 24 hours after we're naturally above the cloud. We've consolidated, created a nice little range-bound activity here, and then effectively are closing above the cloud and establishing higher highs and or higher lows. Okay, those are trend reversals we need to look for. We're not there yet. All right, folks, hope this made sense. I described this correctly. Please like the video if you found benefit. Like it even if you didn't, just to help grow the channel, and greatly appreciate it. I skipped over this earlier, but I do recommend you check out Bitunix. Use my link below to qualify for some healthy rewards. I got some fantastic rewards, but no KYC, no VPN required. Most of my members here that watch me are in the US, Canada, and UK, which all got hit pretty hard with some KYC requirements from other exchanges. So be sure to check that out. Link down below. Have a good rest of your day in the meantime. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.